Hello everyone and welcome to Learn Vietnamese with Jane. In this video, I'm gonna take you through step by step on how to learn Vietnamese. So if you have just started to learn Vietnamese or you are looking for a way to learn Vietnamese effectively, this video is for you. If you only travel to Vietnam for a very short period of time, you only need to learn basic conversation such as how to say hello, thank you, how to order food and drinks at a restaurant, or how to catch a taxi from and to the airport. You can watch the video Vietnamese for Travelers to learn all of them. The other two videos that I would recommend are relating to food and money. So they will help you to understand what you order at a restaurant and also how to buy things with Vietnamese currency. You can also watch the video Cities in Vietnam to practice pronouncing names of some cities and tourist destinations in Vietnam. Now, if you would like to learn Vietnamese seriously, let's start from here. Step 1. You will need to learn the Vietnamese alphabet. So you know it is very similar to English. The Vietnamese alphabet using the Latin alphabet. We only have some additional vowels. For example, in English we have letter A. In Vietnamese, it will be A, Or for example, in English, we have a letter E. In Vietnamese, it is E and E. Or for the letter O in English, in Vietnamese, it will be O, Or for example, the letter U in English, in Vietnamese, we have U and U. So take a look at the videos, the Vietnamese alphabet. It will take you around 10 minutes to master the Vietnamese alphabet. It's very quick and easy. In the second part of the video, the Vietnamese alphabet, you will learn all the Vietnamese consonant clusters. So what are Vietnamese consonant clusters? You know there are some letters in English that we don't have in the Vietnamese alphabet. For example, the letter Z in English, we don't have it in the Vietnamese alphabet. But we have an equivalent consonant cluster that we pronounce the same. That is the consonant cluster G, which includes two letters G and I. Or for example, the letter W in English. In Vietnamese, we have an equivalent consonant cluster W, which includes two letters Q and U. Or for example, the letter F in English, we don't have it in the Vietnamese alphabet, but we have the consonant cluster F, which includes two letters P and H. So take a look on the second part of the videos, the Vietnamese alphabet, to learn all the consonant clusters, so you can pronounce Vietnamese words easily. Now step 2, you will learn about the Vietnamese tongues and an overview about the Vietnamese pronunciation system. As you may know, Vietnamese is a tonal language. We use tongue when we speak, and a word might have a different meaning if we speak with a different tongue. For example, the word đảo. When I speak with the tongue hỏi, it means island. But when we speak with the tongue nặng, which is lower tongue, it means religion. So when I say đạo, it means religion. So take a look at the video Vietnamese tongues and also the video Vietnamese pronunciation part 1 to have a closer look on the Vietnamese tongues and also an overview about the Vietnamese pronunciation system. After you learn about Vietnamese tongues and also an overview about the Vietnamese pronunciation system, you can have a look at the video Vietnamese pronunciation full version or Vietnamese pronunciation part 2 to part 7, which are portions of the full version video. You will practice pronouns on the rhymes in Vietnamese with those videos. Now you don't need to learn all the rhymes in Vietnamese at once because there are too many of them. But you can always refer back to them when you would like to pronounce new vocabulary. Step 3, you will learn Vietnamese personal pronouns. So you know in English we only have you and I, but in Vietnamese we have more personal pronouns to address people. It depends on the gender and age that we use appropriate personal pronouns to address them. And also the personal pronouns will go in pairs in Vietnamese. For example, anh, chị will go with em. Cô, chú, bác will go with con or cháu. Ông, bà will go with con or cháu. So have a look at the video personal pronouns in pairs to learn all about them. In Vietnamese, it's very important to address people using the appropriate personal pronouns. You can also have a look at the video pronouns exercise to apply what you have learned. Step 4, you will learn about sentence structures in Vietnamese. In this series, I will talk you through all the basic sentence structures in Vietnamese. And from there, you can build your own sentences and start to communicate basic Vietnamese. Now, step 5, you will start learning Vietnamese vocabulary. You know, in order to communicate in any languages, you will need to build your vocabulary. You can start by taking a look at the video How to Learn Vietnamese Vocabulary Effectively. This video will explain how the vocabulary works in Vietnamese, and it will provide you with some tips on how to learn them effectively. Now, after watching the video How to Learn Vietnamese Vocabulary Effectively, what next? You can learn 100 verbs in Vietnamese and then 100 adjectives in Vietnamese. Then you will learn the 500 useful words in Vietnamese series from part 1 to part 10. And then you can learn all about the number in the video Count from 0 to 9 billions. I also have the series Vocabulary in Practice. In this series, you will learn how to build your own vocabularies. So take a look. To improve your vocabulary further, you can have a look at the series Vocabulary by Topics with examples and also the series Useful Phrase for Daily Conversations. Now, step 6, you can start learning the series How to about conversation in Vietnamese. So you can start learning how to start a conversation, how to keep a conversation going, how to end a conversation, how to ask a question, how to answer questions, how to say please in Vietnamese, how to introduce yourself, etc. You can also improve your communication by learning on the short videos. So in the short videos, I usually teach the basic conversation in a very specific conversation. So take a look on all of the short videos to improve your communication. Now, step 7. If you would like to take your Vietnamese lesson to the next step, like to the next level, you can start learning basic grammar in Vietnamese. For example, you learn about plurals in Vietnamese or classifiers in Vietnamese, or particles in Vietnamese, and how to translate from English to Vietnamese, etc. Now, step 8. You can apply what you have learned so far by practice listening. So I have a series of listening practice for you to practice along and learn more about how to communicate in a natural way in Vietnamese. You can also apply what you have learned by doing the Vietnamese test in the series Test Your Vietnamese. If you learn all the lessons carefully, you should be able to answer all the questions correctly. On my channel, you will find videos relating to learning tips, such as how to sound like a native Vietnamese speaker, or how to translate from English to Vietnamese, etc. There will be more lessons and series posting every week going forward, so don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also get notification for the new lessons. You can also find a syllabus and relevant links to lessons in the community tab, so take a look and follow that syllabus to learn Vietnamese in a structural way. Okay, that's it for today. I hope the video is helpful for you. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.